What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Pam Marie. I hope I'm finding everybody blessed and well today. If you're new to the channel and you're just stopping by, I hope you consider clicking that subscribe button and joining the family. If you're returning, you already know. Thank you so much for supporting your girl, and the support is appreciated. Today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this look, and the products that I used to do so were I used all of my Dior collection that I own. So if you're interested in seeing how I came up with this, then y'all go ahead and stay tuned. Alright, you guys, so now that the brows are done and my brow bone is highlighted, we're going to dive right into the eyeshadows. And the eyeshadow that I chose from Dior is the Backstage Eye Palette. I have been eyeing this palette since the spring VIB sale, and I don't know why I never picked it up, but I was always just on the fence like, oh, is this going to be good? I picked it up in the shade Amber Neutrals. It looks like that. I wanted all of them, but this was the one that had the most interest to me, so that's why I picked this one up. And I was on the fence, really, I was. But when I used the Backstage Powder No Powders, I was like, oh, I'm definitely have to grab this. But it just took me a while to get around to it. I just kept forgetting. So the first shade that I'm gonna go in with this corner shade right here. And since I've never touched this, I didn't even swatch it, so we're just going in blindly. And I'm just gonna be faithful that Dior did the thing like they did with the other Backstage powders. Oh, that's blending nice. Okay. And the same thing on the other eye, just dipping into that shade here and popping that in the crease. I'm just making sure it's blended. This one looks a little bit more saturated, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. All right, so that looks good. Next, I'm going to grab a little bit of a smaller blending brush, and it's going to be my Rephr 14. Looks like that. And I'm gonna go in with the red, because that was the reason why this palette interests me, because I'm like, oh, I have to try this. So I'm just going to fluff that directly into the crease just to add some dimension. Just with a light hand. And I like the way that looks. Now I'm gonna take a mixture of the other two bottom shades, just dipping back and forth between the two, just to deepen up that outer V. And just a little bit over into the crease, but not all the way through. Just circular motions, and then pulling the excess into the crease. I'm not counting how many times I'm going back and forth between the two, but I will adjust if necessary. And now I'm just going to take one of my clean skin club towels and just wipe off the excess and just make sure the blend is good. I'm really liking this. So that's what that looks like. And I think I'm gonna actually take this shade right here. It's like I'm gonna swatch it. It's like an orange soda type shade. And, or maybe should I take this one? I think that would be the obvious color that I would take. I'm gonna take a MAC 248. I'm gonna start off with that orangey one and see what that does. That's pretty. Something still feels a little bit like it's missing, so I'm gonna go in with the shade next to it, this one here, and pop that to blend in with the outer V area, just to keep like the added dimension. Okay, so that is what that looks like. So this is nice. I'm not mad at it. I'm glad I have it. And then now we can move on to the face. So if you watch any of my videos this summer, then you already know that I discovered the Dior Face and Body, and I'm in the shade 4.5 in. It's a little bit darker than my natural skin tone, but once everything comes together, it all kind of just works. So I've really been enjoying this. It's really light, and I don't really like heavy cakey. I don't need my foundation to be full covered. I just want to even out my skin tone, and this just does exactly that, and it keeps a luminosity to the skin that I really enjoy. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of that on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to dot it all over my face. And you can, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's definitely darker. I got a little bump that I am not sure why it's there or who told it could visit, but it's here and we will deal. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a clean, freshly washed beauty blender and just blend that into my skin. I'm going to probably add a little bit more. Making sure to get in that hairline, since it is darker than my natural complexion, so that way it's not like a little mask like outline on the perimeter of my face. That would not be cute at all. Like I said, I'm gonna grab just a little bit more just to get in the center of my face and to make sure that I covered that perimeter good enough. I'm just gonna put it on the beauty blender itself. Oops, a little heavy-handed there. Okay. I'm gonna grab that smaller blending brush because I think I cut off the like little tail of my eyeshadow, so I'm just going to drag that back outwards. So if you ever make that mistake, that's the easy trick. Just take the brush that you used in that area and just use the shadow that's already there and lift and like drag it upward. Okay. All right, so for my concealer, I have my Dior, what is it? Forever Skin Correct in the shade 4W Olive. I'm pretty sure you know what this looks like, but just for reference, that's that. And I'm gonna highlight. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. I like this concealer because it's very creamy. It's non-drying. It does not crease or crack underneath my eye. So it's a good one. Okay. So that is that. So the same beauty blender. I use the butt for the foundation. I'm gonna use the tip for the concealer and just pouncing that under the eye. Let me know, guys, down in the comments what if you tried Dior, what are some of your favorites from the line? Doesn't have to be anything that I've used here today or that I'm talking about. Maybe I need to find some new gems. I know I have a cart going right now for that Sephora sale, and I have 4 of the Dior lipsticks in there, so I'm super excited about those. I just have to place my order. I'm just taking the butt of that sponge, what I use the foundation for, just to make sure there's no harsh lines between the concealer and the foundation. Okay. So same thing, just going around the perimeter with those edges, making sure there's no harsh line between the two. Okay. So here's what we are looking like. So next, I am going to set my under eye. And I'm going to use the Dior Backstage Powder, Face and Body Powder, No Powder. And I'm going to use in the shade 3 for underneath my eyes. And the places that I highlighted, that's why we put in that powder. So I hit pan on shade number 4. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail as well. So I'm just gonna use any other actually, I'm just gonna use a translucent setting powder so it doesn't really change the integrity of the shade. I wish I had my other powder, and I'm just gonna lightly set the rest of my face. Okay, so that is that. Alright, so I'm going to use the Backstage Powder No Powder in 6N as my bronzer. I'm just using my Morphe E4 brush. It looks like that. So I just kind of stipple it on to my face. And I just love the shade of it. I actually picked up 5 this time around too, and in that Sephora haul that I have that in my cart to just see how that one looks, because you know the weather changed and the tans are going away, so I want to see what 5 is going to do. So look out for that. And I'm just sweeping that bronzer into my brow bone. Okay. So the only thing I don't have from Dior is a blush, but we all know that as makeup artists, you don't have to use the labeled product for the area of your face. You can get creative. So I'm going to take a Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to take this bronzy shade in the middle and use that as my blush. I think that looks pretty. Might have been a little bit heavy-handed, but I think that looks pretty. So now I'm going to take that big fluffy brush that I use, my translucent setting powder, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines, because I think I was a little bit heavy-handed on this side, but I just want to make sure everything blends nice. And there was a little bit of excess powder on there. I didn't re-dip. This is simply just blending everything together. I think that looks pretty good. So I do have the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer. I picked up the shade number 4 in Golden Glow. She looks like this. It's that orangey toned highlighter, and I like it because it looks like a luminizer and it could be a topper, even though this gave a little bit of sheen already, that eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna, oh, I think I took too much. Take a little bit of that and just pop it right at the high points of my face. Same thing on the other side. High points in my brow. My nose. And that is that. So hopping back into the eyes, I'm gonna use a Rephr 03, looks like that. And I am going to take this deeper reddish color and pop that on the bottom. Really close. To the lash line. And then a little fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to take the brown that I used in my crease initially and just blend out the edges. Okay. I'm going to put some mascara on my lower lash line. No, I don't have any Dior. Okay. So, wipe off this lip balm. And let's do my lips. So, and you guys should be proud because I didn't use Limitless Brown. And then for my lippy today, I'm using the Dior. I can't read what this says, y'all. It's a Dior lip gloss. It's in the shade 630. Alright, so let's pop on these lashes. And we will serve final looks. As long as possible. Alright, you guys, so here is the finished look. It's a full face of all of my Dior products. So I'll give you a close-up. Just the eyes, face, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more videos with just using one brand type content, let me know down in the comment section. Also, let me know, like I said, what Dior products have you tried, if any, or what products from Dior are you interested in. Thank you guys for your continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, guys. Bye.